Hey, I want to welcome our viewers to Kennesaw Happenings podcast. I'm Golfer Pete, and we have a special guest in the studio. She didn't have to go very far. She actually just had to go a couple doors down because she's here on a regular basis with Mary Ellen. And so we're going to ask TT just to be with us, and we thank her for being this, but she's going to introduce herself, who she is, the company she's with, and who she serves. And then we're going to get into a little conversation with TT. So, TT, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Absolutely.
Good morning. My name is Santeria, but I go by TT because it's easier for everyone to remember.
Yes, especially me because I'm dyslexic and not good with long. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I am here to introduce my company, A Heart of Compassion, Specialized Care.
Mhm.
Here I take care of seniors, veterans, and special needs children.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. Now, we always like to know, like, how did you get into this business? Like, what went on in your life that you decided to go this route?
This has been a passion for me for a long time. My grandmother, I come from a big family, and my grandmother is the only other CNA in my family. She's no longer with us, but I had the pleasure of going to work with her on weekends, to assist with activities, hairdressing, care to a minimum. But from there, the passion has always been there. And so, of course, when I was able to get my first job, I started out at dietary and assisted living, worked my way onto after graduation to becoming a CN certified nursing assistant. And therefrom, I've been a caregiver. And
Awesome.
prompted me to start my own company to really train and be first hands-on with those that are in need.
That's awesome. So now here at Overture, how long have you been involved in Overture, like caring here?
I've been here a few months with one of my all-time favorite clients.
Yes.
Mary Ellen.
Yes.
Where I got to meet you. And
yes.
We're here.
That's awesome. So, what do you think, like, when you're not working, which I know you work hard, I hear you work hard, so I'm believing Mary Ellen when she tells me this. What do you like to do for enjoyment?
I have children, and they're very active in sports. So I like to go and watch them do their thing.
Okay.
My father is a pastor, so I like to go to church, of course.
Okay.
And for my free time, what do I like to do? I like to read.
Right.
I like to read.
Read and take care of kids. So how old are your kids?
I have an 18-year-old, a 15-year-old, 14-year-old, 13.
Wow.
And 2.
Nice. Okay. You missed raising kids. So I know you decided, okay, we're going to go through a little more of wonderful raising of kids. So what's the biggest challenge of working and raising kids? What have you found that to be?
The balance.
Yeah.
It's the balance because they're all active in sports. And of course, the need is always there for my clients. So trying to juggle, do we sacrifice this game to be able to help this loved one?
Right.
Or that's pretty much probably the challenge.
Right.
That's the challenge of it all, I would say.
So and it is because it's kids. We always say here at Overture that we raise our kids, and then our grandkids are a blessing that God gives us. Like, okay, you have worked hard. Now I'm going to bless you with grandkids. So
that's what my mom says too.
Yeah, I bet that is really good. So your dad's a pastor of a church?
He is.
Good. Is this local or out of town?
It's in Mapleton, Georgia.
Okay. Nice.
United in Christ.
Oh, wonderful. I'm real familiar with Mapleton. I used to have that area. So what would you say, like, with running your own business versus working for somebody else, for our viewers that, have a business like yourself, what do you find the biggest challenge that you see in running your own business?
Biggest challenge is pushing your vision on my employees,
Right.
for them to put out my goal of making sure everyone feels loved and supported. Because as an employee, I can go off myself, but when I have a vision of making sure everyone is done with love and patience and kindness and goodness and faithfulness and gentleness, I want that always to be pushed, the fruits of the spirit to always be shown in every employee. And so, of course, for myself, I can show it all day long, but behind closed doors, I want to always make sure my employees are pushing that off onto the client.
How do you find people out there? Is there something that you've been able to do that has attracted your employees?
Employees or clients?
Employees. I was just curious, building your team.
For so long. So I have relationships with men and women from years.
Okay.
So of course, when I thrown out, hey, I'm going to start my own company, it was nothing for them to say, hey, call me if you need me, call me if you need me, because we've worked so close together over the years. I'm talking folks from 7, 8 years, always reminds me that they have my back to make sure my dream is executed.
That's awesome. So you mentioned reading as something you enjoy doing. Are you reading a particular book that our viewers would love to hear about? I always love, I'll say that question is like, in the area of improving, I know there's different books out there. Is there a book that you could recommend to our viewers? Right
now, my mom actually just gifted me this book, The Next 90 Days of Becoming the Woman God Wants You to Be. So that's right now the everyday devotional book that I'm starting out. And it is awesome. It's truly awesome.
Good. We'll try to put that in our show notes too, because I love the title, so I don't know.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
That's really good. So when you were growing up, was there activities you enjoyed as growing up in your family? Really? Oh man, now I know where that beautiful smile comes from. Yes. Okay.
Varsity cheerleader.
Yeah.
I volunteered at youth leagues, middle school teams. I've always volunteered to, help the other girls become awesome.
Yes.
in their emotions and their spirit and everything else.
Well, we had a guy on, Mark Hooker, and he's a PK.
Okay.
So you're a PK. So for people that aren't familiar with that term, a preacher kid.
Yes.
So we always like to hear, like, how was that growing up? Because, everybody's going like, oh, yes, you got to be not perfect, but you got to be pretty close to it. So how was that growing up in the church and being a preacher's kid? How did you handle that? Was that a challenge at times?
No, to be yourself and to always be an example of him.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, beginning of the day, he's watching. So that's who I push to impress.
I like that. That is some insights that our viewers, I hope they can hear that again, because yes, being yourself and really honoring him is so important.
Yes.
And so, I think, because I've known a lot of, let's say, PKs. And so the light is shining on you. And I think you have to look at it a certain way. And that's a good way of looking at it, I think. So with here at Overture, what was initially like, how did you meet Mary Ellen, or how did that come about?
Okay. Mary Ellen, I came to meet her with a hospice company.
Okay.
And It's been a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel to even care for someone in what they consider, your last days, as we all are living in our last days.
Right.
But to take care of her and eventually introduce my company, no question about it. She's like, I'm going with you. I'm going with you.
Right.
So that's how we met.
Yeah.
Working for hospice, and then we went on to being a Heart of Compassion specialized care client.
Awesome. So what that warms my heart when I hear that. So when you look at your like career or your company, what do you kind of, I know I don't like to, say go too far out, but what would you like to, what's your vision for, tell me the compassion of heart, heart of compassion. Yeah, that's my dyslexia. Heart of compassion. So where would you like to be in, say, 5 years? Where do you see your company?
Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
I want a village. I would like to have a personal care home.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, apartment for seniors, those that are in need, that needs a little extra hand. Some are fairly independent, very independent, like Maryland, where I can just come in to possibly just cook breakfast, lunch, dinner, laundry, do whatever it is that's needed. But I hope to have a van to transport as many clients to appointments, a bus to go on many activities. That way, we're still actively living,
Right.
So
what is like a typical day, do you all play cards, or there's some activities that you do with Mary Ellen?
Shopping.
Okay. Yeah. We're in the shopping mecca.
Together.
Really?
Watch shows.
Yep.
We're on Yellowstone right now.
Man, you're going to have to help me with that. I just got TV and I was the Yellowstone, watcher, but I have not been able to find it in such a way that I can enjoy it. But that's definitely a good series. There's plenty of action.
Yeah. Like, most enjoy a good hot dog from Freddy's or our ice cream. We go out and do whatever it is they desire to do, but they don't have to do it alone, or it takes a load off of family members, not feeling bad about having to go to work, but they have someone that steps in to say, hey, I got your back. Don't worry. I have mom, I have dad, I have your loved one, so forth.
So what, when it comes to some of the shows out there, besides Yellowstone, what shows do you enjoy that our viewers might not be aware of? Any of them you think of? TV. Okay. Yeah, with raising kids, I can see that's probably. I was
going to say, I know Paw Patrol.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, you do definitely learn the kids shows when you're a mom and you have you're raising. So I want to also let our viewers know that tell us how we can get a hold of you. They can get a hold of you.
If you could reach me at 678 538 7826. 24 hours. If your loved one is needing assistance, you can reach me again 24 hours. Now we have a caregiver come out to assist your loved one. By all means, whether that's getting them ready for work, getting them ready for school, cooking breakfast again, whatever the need is, we can pretty much cover it.
That's awesome.
With love.
Yes. So is there anybody we always like to see, because when we have people like yourself, we want people like yourself. Is there anybody you can think of that would be a good guest for our podcast?
Sure, my mother.
Whoa, really?
Yes.
Dang. Hey, Mom, did you hear that out there? She is recommending you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I remember we chatted, briefly about, and you were telling me the influence of your mom and how that's been very helpful for you. So That would be
Biggest
kind of
support.
cool to have your mom on here, and she can kind of give us a little bit insight in the challenging times of raising you. Now, she
And that was a breeze, right, Mom?
yes. Oh, yeah. I think that that would be a good guess. So we want to thank you for that. So we always like to ask our guests, would you like to leave our guests, our viewers, with something that you think would be helpful for them? What would that be, TT?
You don't have to do it alone.
Right.
If you're a loved one that's listening, you don't have to do it alone. We're here to help, to assist, to step in, even if it's for a few hours,
Right.
to give you a break, to catch that grandbaby's football game that you may not be able to go to.
Mm-hmm.
We can help with your wife, your husband, so forth. And even for potential clients,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to have help.
Yeah.
Even if you're independent and you just need a little help, we're here to help you.
Awesome. I thought of one, when you were telling me about the cooking and the shopping and the shows, I always like to know what's your favorite thing that you like to cook? Like, what is your favorite recipe or go-to meal that you like to have out there?
God, I'm a seafood person. I love seafood.
Really?
Or even breakfast, something like eggs over easy, French toast, coffee, tea, sausage,
Right.
bacon. But for lunch, scallops,
Whoa.
potatoes, steak, you name it, I can cook it. I come from a family of cooks. My mom has a restaurant, so anything you want,
Really?
I can cook. And I train my employees to cook in whatever aspect of what you would like.
Do you want to give your mom's, is she still in the restaurant business?
Is.
Wow, you want to give her a shout out for a restaurant?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Willoughby Sisters in Mapleton, Georgia.
Okay.
They have a few food trucks, so if you like anything more, they have brick and mortar, so you can always go in to have Sunday lunch, dinner. They are open Wednesday through Friday.
Okay.
Wednesday through Sunday.
Okay.
For lunch and dinner. Of course, it's amazing soul food. So if you like Southern soul food, check them out.
Awesome. Well, we're going to give our viewers a link in the show notes for your mom's restaurant.
Yes.
Because I know people need to know where good food is.
Yes.
So that'll be a good thing to have. And we'll put some links in the show notes of how you can get a hold of what you just talked about, TT, as far as getting a hold of you and being able to contact you. So we want to thank you so much for being on our podcast and taking time. You are most welcome.
Truly amazing.
Well, that's what we try to do. Bartina keeps me on my toes. So if I get sidetracked, she always brings me back to focusing on our guests. So thank you so much, DT, for being our guest.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, you're welcome.
See you soon.
Okay.